All right, so I'm here with my guy, Robbie. Robbie, how long you been driving Uber and Lyft?
8 years.
8 years. So I get a lot of negative feedback from people telling me that you can't make $400 to $500 a day doing Uber and Lyft. What do you think about that? You think it's possible to make $400 to $500 a day?
If you're eager and a hard worker, you can make more than that. Sometimes I have my brother work in LA and makes $1,200 a day.
$1,200 a day.
$1,200 a day, not 500. $1,200.
$1,200 a day in LA.
And they get some extra tips on the side, 300, 400, 500. I'm not, this is the facts. It's not like lying to you. But you need to work on it. You need to plan where the money, where to go, and then you can make the money.
And if you were a new Uber and Lyft driver today, how would you move and how would you build a private clientele?
You need to go to business customer in the morning, and you need to meet people at a weekend. They're coming to the hotel and try to make establish relationship with the customer.
So you would tell them not to just rely on Uber and Lyft, but to go build their own private clientele, correct?
Yes, and service. You need to have a good service, good humor, and a good social. You need to be socialized with people. You cannot be rude. You have to have excellent customer service.
And what's the most amount of money you made in a day as a chauffeur driver?
I make like $1,200, $1,500.
$1,200 to $1,500 in San Francisco.
Yes,
in a day.
And not in there was sedan black was not.
So you was in a sedan, not even an SUV.
Not an SUV.
And he made 12 to 15.
XCS, the regular basic, Napa Valley.
And one last question, Robbie. Do you need a fancy SUV to get started in this business?
No, not at all. You need just customer service and respect your customer, and have them be, you have to be smooth as much you can. That's all.
Boom. There y'all have it.
How much money can you make in a 12-hour shift with Uber? Let's find out. 7 o'clock right now. Our target tonight is $300. Let's go. This is the 1 hour updates. You've had 4 rides so far, $26.61. Second hour update. We did $11 this hour. It really sucked. See you in an hour. The third hour check-in. Not good. Kind of got a $16 ride right at the end of the second hour into the third hour. Other than that, nothing in the third hour. Into the fourth hour, holy crap, guys, it is dead. Went over from Tampa all the way to St. Petersburg over here. Got an $11 ride. It was a fantastic ride. The guys were laughing. They were funny. Super cool ride. I'm hoping to get a killer tip. Hour 5. So we did $15 here. No tip so far on this one. 6 hour. We had a $40 ride up from St. Pete over to another area. That was $20. The guy tipped me $20. Yes, baby. We have now broken $105 on the app. $20 there. So we're at $125. It is 4 o'clock right now. So I skipped 2:30 and 3:30. Right now we're at $183. Another $20. So we've broken 200. This is good. It is almost 6 o'clock, so I'm about an hour and a half short of my 12 hours. In cash, I got $20 tip. The total money I made tonight was $202 plus the $20 tip, so we're at $222. Question for the Uber drivers: have you guys ever done a 12-hour shift? And what's the most money you've made on a Tuesday night, or any night for that matter? Comment below, please, and let me know. All right, guys, that's all for tonight. Good night.
All right, y'all. So I got my guy, Big Corn. How long you been driving Uber Black, Corn?
Probably about 3 years.
3 years. Okay, my first question is, what's the biggest challenge of driving for Uber Black?
I think it's just waiting, man, and being patient. And that's waiting on Uber Black rides, you know what I'm saying? And not taking comfort, not taking no XLs. You gotta know that your time coming for that Uber Black, man, and that's the hardest part, just waiting and knowing that it's coming.
Okay, so the biggest challenge is just waiting.
Yeah.
Sitting around waiting for rides.
Yeah.
Okay. As a driver, what's the most amount of money you made in a day?
About $5,200.
And how did you do it? And was it a private client or was it a customer you met? Private client?
Yeah.
$5,200 in a day.
Yes, sir.
Wow. How do you make yourself different from the other drivers in this market? Like, what makes you different from the other drivers? Like me and all the other drivers.
Man, I think it's just your personality, my personality. You know what I'm saying? Engaging with the customers in your own way, not being offensive, and just making them feel real comfortable.
What's your approach to handling demanding or high-profile clients like celebrities and stuff like that, if you ever get any? And if you have had any celebrities, let us know who.
Yeah, man, I had a few rap artists, Nelly. I've had Jagged Edge. Got Floyd Mayweather one time. When you get those kind of clients, man, you want to be real cool, man. Don't be too starstruck, even though it might be your most favorite artist or most famous person that you like the most. But you gotta just treat them like you're a normal person and make them feel safe. Make them feel like you ain't gonna try to set them up. Real discreet. For the most part, man, that's about it, and it's gonna pay off in the end.
What advice could you give to other drivers or other people that want to get into the business we in?
Man, just be patient, man. Ain't no such thing as an overnight success. You know what I'm saying? But if you put the time in it with anything, man, put one foot in front of the other one every day. Keep going. You're gonna get that private client. You're gonna get that. You're gonna make them in, man. You're gonna make that money, guaranteed.
Okay, and I get a lot of people asking me this question. What's the best car to get for this business?
Hey, man.
What's the best car to get?
See what I'm rolling with, man.
Tell the people what this is for the people that don't know.
Man, Cadillac ESV, man.
The best for business.
The long sleeve, man.
Long sleeve.
Gotta have that cargo space in the back for them airport runs, man, you know.
Absolutely. So there y'all have it, my guy Big Corn. Thanks for the information. 2021 Cadillac ESV. Best car to have for the chauffeur business.
I've been doing Uber for about a year now, and it's just like any other job. It has its pros and cons. Now, I've noticed the driver pay going down a little bit, and if you let Uber tell you, it's because there's not many customers. The surge ain't as much. Not many people using the app. But supposedly, Uber only takes 30% of what they charge the customer. Last week, they supposedly only took 27% of what they charged the customer. Here's an example. This is a Uber X ride. They were going to pay the driver $12.29 to drive 32 minutes. And if you put this information into the Uber Rider app, you can see that they charged the customer $21.96 for the Uber X ride. And if you do the math, 30% of $21.96 is $6.58, which means they should have been paying the driver more than $15 for this ride. Here's another example. Here's an Uber X ride. They're paying the driver $5.09 to drive 20 minutes. So I put this information into the Rider app and seen that they are charging the customer $14.98 for the same Uber X ride. Remember, Uber only takes 30% from the customer and gives the rest to the driver. In this case, 30% of $14.98 would have been $4.94, which means Uber should have paid the driver at least $10 for this ride. Last but not least, we have an Uber X ride that is paying the driver $5.56 to drive 20 minutes. If you put this information into the Rider app, you can see that they are charging $14.92 for the same Uber X ride. So let's do the math. 30% of $14.92 would equal $4.47. Now that would be Uber's taking for this ride. That means they should have been paying the driver $10.44 for this ride. And this is one of the many reasons why you should know how this app works or how the company works before you start driving for Uber, because you will drive your car into the ground and not have any money to fix it.
So I've been out all morning and I've been doing Uber today. I've been doing Uber Eats, picking up passengers and picking up groceries. I just don't do the pets. But why Uber just sent me a pickup for $2,005 to drop somebody off 12 hours from Illinois? Baby, that's a lot of money, but I am not going to be in a car with a total stranger for 12 hours and then have to drive back 12 hours by myself. But I did not know Uber was paying like that. If I knew that, I would have just grabbed a passenger and somebody I know to ride with me. That is insane, and that's actually a game changer, because 12 hours I'll be out of $200 in gas and I'll stay where I'm going. Yeah, that's a great amount. I just can't have a stranger in my car for 12 hours behind me.
Today I'm doing a blog of how much money I can make on a Sunday Ubering in New York City. Remember, it's not your typical Sunday. It's currently slow season, so let's see how it goes. It's currently 4:20 p.m. and I'm going to work all the way until 12 or 1 a.m. Having a clean car is essential if you want to increase your chances of making a lot of money tonight. So I got this vacuum that I bought from the TikTok shop, which I usually use if it needs to be used right before I start my shift. Damn, guys, I thought I got lucky. And cut a reservation, guys. Wow. It was a Newark reservation, guys. I missed it. Anyway, sometimes it's not about the job you do, it's about how you do your job. With that being said, this is part 1 of how much money I can make on a Sunday driving Uber in New York City. So if you want to see part 2, like, share the video, comment, and stay tuned. I should mention that the only thing I've had today is coffee. I went to sleep at like 8 in the morning yesterday. I've only had coffee, so I still gotta get me some food for the day and, you know, get fueled up.
All right, so I'm testing out Uber to see if I can, basically, if I can replace my regular income doing Uber. A lot less stressful on the body and a lot less mental anguish, if you want to say that. So I did it for 14 and a half hours last week, just testing it out when I was bored, and I made 407 minus gas, about $30, so about 377 for about 14 and a half hours, which is not bad. I could have made more, but I didn't stay out. I wanted to come home, so we're gonna test it out this week. I'm gonna try to do a full 40 hours and see what it's looking like. So follow me on this journey. I'll leave some screenshots of what I made last week.
Boom! Another Uber hack job. Ready to take advantage of an unsuspecting driver who's like, oh, I guess that's a good ride, right? As you can see, it's not going far, right? But that's not the point. The point is, I'm in downtown. Now, this was Tuesday night, 12:22 a.m. So I was mainly doing airport, as I usually do on the weekdays. Unless I get a crazy surge on the street, I'm sticking to airport, making my quick hundo, and getting home in time to watch my new favorite Apple TV series, The Studio, with Seth Rogen. But anyways, I took a guy from the airport to a hotel here in downtown. And I said, you know what? Let's just check for curiosity. Let's check if they'll give me a ride heading back in the direction of the airport. Maybe I don't have to go by there without a ride, right? And boom, as soon as I see this little banger here, I'm like, now I know why I stick to airport runs and just kind of ignore the streets, unless there's a surge. Because not even $3, I mean, I know it's not a long trip, but if you know downtown Miami, just making these little turns in these traffic-ridden streets that are like two-way traffic, and you have to make a left onto two-way traffic. It's just dangerous too. It's not even worth this left turn I have to make on Biscayne right here to go to Edgewater to drop this guy off. That left turn is so dangerous that night. You got to check both sides. There's pedestrians. It's like, why would I put myself in that driving predicament for less than $3? And whatever, this is going to take 7-10 minutes, let's say. In 10 minutes, I could be back at the airport lot getting much better paying rides. I mean, not that much better paying. I mean, yesterday there was no surge at the airport, so I cranked out like 8 rides and I broke 100. And like I said, I was back in time to watch Seth Rogen. that TV show, The Studio. I really like it. All right, guys, that's the Uber banger of the day.
Come with me to drive Uber today on a Saturday. We're just gonna drive for a couple of hours, and it's a fun, easy way, 1, to get to meet people, 2, to continue to save up a little bit for our home and make a little extra bit of money and get some entertainment, because some of these people, you guys, are wild. So I'm gonna take you along for the ride. We picked up 3 people to drop them off to go shopping, and they didn't say a word the whole ride. Second ride, picked a guy up from home, dropped him off to pick up his car, and he talked with me the whole time. We talked about being from Vermont originally, and how I was the only female Uber driver that he has ever had, and it was fun to have a conversation with him, and he tipped me $5. Third ride, super quick, just picked a woman up, drove her down the road, and dropped her off to work at Chili's. Didn't really talk to me because she was talking on the phone the whole way. Trip number 5, I just picked someone up, did not say a word the entire time, and just dropped her off to work at Olive Garden. And I was like, all right, just dropped off a group of 3 women who are all a bunch of Brits. They got in, I heard their accent. I'm like, oh my gosh, please keep talking. But they were so fun. They were going to a wedding. They went to go get their hair blown out at a hair salon, get all dolled up. But let me tell you, that was the most fun ride of the day so far.
Good morning, TikTok, from your local hustler. Guess what? I overslept this morning. I freaking overslept. I'm at the airport now picking up my first ride. Yesterday, I ended up making $500 and didn't want to get my ass up this morning. I made $500 yesterday. So today, I know I'm not going to probably be able to make $500 because I don't like doing it at night. I only like doing it in the morning. So that's why I get up at like 6 o'clock to do it. But we'll see. Give me a moment. I'm picking up a rider. Anyway, I just dropped my rider off. It was an airport ride. He was like literally right around the corner from the airport, like 4 miles. So it typically take about 8 minutes to do 4 miles here. It was $17. So I don't know. But I'm gonna let y'all know if or what I get up to today, because that $500 day yesterday wore me out.
How much would you say you earn from doing rides monthly?
Like my own money, right?
Yeah.
It's more than 500.
It's more than 500.
To say, alala, oh no no, what? Yeah, papa.
So in, we've got the information we need. So it's time to find out how much I actually earned this week as an Uber driver in Yorkshire. So what I'm going to show is my net profit. I'm going to show my hourly rates, and I want you to remember this is pre-tax, because obviously we talk pre-tax when we talk about earnings. So this week I worked a total of 65 hours 15 minutes. That is total time. That is not just driving time, that is all the time that were logged on and available as an Uber. And the takings in that time was £1,610.56. The expenses on that came to a total of £419.86. And when you deduct the expenses from the takings, my net profit is £1,190.70. Sounds alright for a week's work, but how does that total up as an hourly rate? So my gross hourly rate was £24.68, and my net hourly rate after all my expenses was £18.25 per hour. Again, let me stress, that's pre-tax, so I still have tax and national insurance to come out of that amount. All in all, I think that's a pretty successful week, but let me know down in comments what you think, whether that's a reasonable week or whether you expected it to be higher or lower.
Good morning and happy Monday, TikTokers. So I did not make my goal last week. My goal was $1,000, but I only end up making, I think, $965. Yep, $965. So I was a little bit short. This week, I'm not really going to set a goal because I have a lot of things to do. Like today, I got a facial at 1:30. I don't know how long that's going to take. Tomorrow, I have an oil change. Wednesday, I have something to do. So I'm not really going to set a goal for this week. But just know it's 7 o'clock and I'm out here and I'm about to get this money on this good Monday. I hope you guys have a fantastic week. And if you need a side hustle, Uber is definitely one that's a good one. So You guys have a great week, okay?
All right, guys, let's clear up a big misconception about how Uber pays its drivers in 2025. So a lot of people still think that Uber works on commission, but that is not the case anymore. Here is actually what's happening. So Uber now has a direct contract with the customer. They set the fare with them. That's it. No negotiation. And then when they give the job to you, there's a separate contract between Uber and yourself, the driver. So what does it actually mean for us drivers? It means that Uber doesn't just take a cut from what the customer pays anymore. Instead, they pay us what they feel is appropriate for that trip. Sounds fair? Well, kind of. Here's the catch. Uber is now aiming, I believe, to balance drivers out on an hourly wage. That's why you'll notice that some rides seem way underpaid whilst others seem a lot better. It's all about averaging us out. And let's be real, we're actually more expensive for Uber now. They have to cover things like a 3% pension top-up, holiday pay and other benefits. So guess what? They're going to be more strategic about what they pay us. You might sometimes see Uber charge customer £40 for a ride, but only pays you £25. That's not a commission. That's them deciding what they think you should get. There'll be other times where they've only charged the customer £20, but they give you £30. Again, they are deciding what you should get at that time, and I believe that is to balance you out on a certain hourly wage. Also, if there's not that many drivers about, Uber knows that they need to get a driver to the customer fast, so they'll give you more to entice you to do the job to reduce the waiting time for the actual customer. So what can we do about this, guys? Track your earnings, understand how they calculate the pay now, and most importantly, work smart, not just hard. Know your best hours, know your areas, and maximize your time on the road. Let me know what you think in the comment section below, guys. Follow me here on TikTok for more videos.
Good morning, TikTok.
I'm sorry about your wait. What can I get?
So I'm back for a second. I'm doing my morning routine, and of course, I will tell you, I fucking overslept. Let me get my Starbucks. Give me a second. So I overslept this morning, but I made good money yesterday. I made $340 yesterday doing Uber. But today is Friday, so I'm outside, baby. I didn't get my Starbucks, and I'm at the airport right now. Just waiting, sitting here, just waiting on my first ride. It's about 20 cars in queue. So today I'm looking at least a $350 to $400 day. Clock that T, and we shall see. But yeah, I'm up, I'm ready. I fucking overslept. I don't know how I did that. But today Friday, and I'm gonna get this money, and I'll let y'all know tomorrow how I did today. Have a good Friday.
Spend a day with me while I do Uber to try to make my car payment in 5 days. The first thing I have to do is get gas. So let me go ahead and fill up big old Stitch. And I think I'm going to fill up my water as well while I'm in here so I can have water, because your girl needs to stay hydrated. Because the last 2 days I haven't been hydrated and I've been feeling like shit the whole day. Forever, it's freezing. Thank you, Jesus. Receipts for my taxes. Receipts. Thank you. It's just cold outside. Woo! Okay, let's get on Uber. We just got a $6 order, $6 pickup to go 10 minutes total. So I have to drive 6 minutes to go pick up Maria. I just got another pickup for $4.66 to go pick up Yvette. I just dropped off Joelle for $11.18 for a 25-minute drive. But right now I'm finna take a bathroom break because I gotta pee. Are you going slow for a reason? So I just got done using the bathroom at this Circle K. I got me something to drink, and I did cave in and got me some wings because the girl was hungry. And it's $7 from the $11 that I just made because I had to get something to eat, y'all. I just got a pickup order for Victory for $7.99. All right, so I just dropped off. I picked up somebody as soon as I dropped off the other lady. And I picked up Gabrielle and dropped her off for $5.99. We got a $5.65 drive to go pick up Joseph. It is now 6:15 p.m. and I've done made $165 total, which is equivalent to day one of me saving and Ubering until I make my car note. So I'll be back tomorrow.